United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to a meeting of the Stamford Selectboard. If you have a matter to discuss that is not included on the agenda, you may do so by addressing the chairperson and stating your name and address. You'll notice that all our meetings are recorded, and this is to aid with the summarization of the minutes. Visitors are welcome, and we allow 5 minutes of comments per visitor and 15 minutes per topic. Discussions will be held in a calm, civilized manner and respectful of others. Select board members present are Nancy Bashika,
Doug Wright, John Dunn.
Will there be any adding of items or removing items from tonight's agenda?
I have additional correspondence that's come in since the agenda.
Okay. Will there be any adjustments to the agenda, such as changing the order of items? And Jeb is recording tonight's meeting for his YouTube video. Before I forget, like I did last time, I just wanted to offer our condolences to the Denault family, especially Teresa's. I know she doesn't work for us anymore, but she was very close to all of us on the board for the recent passing of a family member. And second is to thank Lori for decorating the Christmas tree. And John, we thank you for donating it, and you and Mike for setting it up, and whoever helped there.
Yes, thanks.
Lori, you did a good job decorating.
Yeah,
It was a
that's
cute
great.
little one.
Thank
Cute.
you.
Thank you. All right. Hearing of visitors. Yes.
I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I don't see anything on the actual agenda regarding the conflict of interest. So I just wanted to check in and see if you guys had a chance to contact the ethics committee and had a chance to actually review the new ethics stuff that has come out that took effect on the 1st. So I guess I'm just checking in to see kind of where we stand. You said you were gonna look in to see if you had the ability to vote on that both positions couldn't hold. If you were the assessor or if you were the delinquent tax collector, you couldn't hold the JP. If you're the JP, you couldn't hold tax collector.
Correct, yes. Regarding the ethics, there's a lot to read on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Doug's been reading on it too, and I've been reading, and there's a lot to go on. There's a whole list of what the towns have to put on. I don't know if you got it yet, Lori, but it's preparation checklist from municipalities, what has to go on our website. So we're working on that. Where we have to post the whistleblower protection, gotta be here, garage, probably the recycling shed, because nobody can get into the garage. The complaint form, and the code of ethics is probably 5 or 6 pages long, a lot of reading. So we are working on that. Now, as far as the justice of the peace and the collector of delinquent taxes, I did find out about that. According to state law, there is no, same person can hold both those jobs, according to state law. But it comes down to how the pay is, which we have discussed before. And I asked the LCT, can the town create a policy prohibiting the same person from holding both offices? If the job is elected, no, you cannot, because that's the people are electing them. If we appoint JP, which we don't appoint anyway, if we appoint the delinquent taxes, then we can say you can't hold them, then we can create our own policy. So.
Yeah, I think everybody's aware that there's no state like guideline that those positions can't kind of coexist.
Yeah.
The question was, I guess, that Mike proposed was, can the town put in an ordinance that says that neither one of those positions can both be held by the same person.
No, we cannot. I just
So-
said it, we cannot because they're elected positions. If they were appointed, then the town could do something, but because they're elected, it's a state law, we can't do anything.
Okay, so what are we going to do moving forward as far as the conflict of interest that's going to arise? I can smell it, it's never gone away, and it's not gonna, I'd be shocked if it did.
Well,
What are we gonna do when that arises? Because, you know, it's one thing for me as a new elected JLP to sit on the board and say, I need you to recuse yourself, but I'm not the Lord Jesus Christ himself. I can't make her recuse herself. I can bring it up and ask her to, but like we've done before, and like people have done before in the past, and asked them to recuse themselves, this individual, it was a blatant no. And so then it was kind of left where people just had to kind of proceed forward. It was kind of just like, oh, well, they're allowed to.
that hasn't happened yet.
It sure did. It happened between two people in town. When somebody came in for an abatement, they asked her to recuse herself, and she blatantly said no, which is one wholeheartedly. If you look at multiple sections, I don't want to put names
That's
out there,
okay, yeah.
but there was an instance where a lawsuit happened between these two people, and just for that sake, they shouldn't have been mingling in that area, and then that person like never left. So I guess I know it's in the past, but it still happened. But what are we going to do? It's like I'm beating a dead horse. Like, what are we going to do moving forward? Because this is not going to go away. You know, it's a conflict of interest.
Okay, well, first of all, I just started reading this, and they've got a little quiz online, I took that the other day, I'm still not an expert on it. But my understanding, as far as them asking the person to leave the room, that's a public meeting. And if the person doesn't want to go, that's perfectly fine. That was a public meeting, all those hearings were public meetings, so she didn't have to go. My understanding is.
How are they, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but how are those public hearings? Because we had to schedule an appointment, but nobody else was in the room, or nobody else knew when those were things. It wasn't like it was put out like Peter Greenbush has an abatement hearing, come one, come all. I mean,
No, that's more administrative, they are considered public meetings. And I think when we asked you to put in your name, let us know you're coming so we can prepare. It's more of an administrative thing than anything else. But those are public meetings.
Do they have,
So the grievance hearings, they choose a day, and the day is posted. And they have to be here from 10 to 2, or whatever the hours are that they post on their notice. They ask people to schedule them, but it's posted for anybody in town who wants to come.
it is,
because I was told by them that I had to actually schedule, actually when it came out, it was you have to schedule a meeting. So that kind of gets away from that, but I
it's only for
understand.
the convenience
Well,
of
so
city or
that's fine.
paper, yeah.
So if she's sitting in that meeting and she has made statements and they were put on the assessment, and then she still didn't recuse herself from a vote or from any saying, is that or is that not a conflict of interest?
I think you're talking about two different meetings.
I'm talking about both meetings that were held, because she was in the abatement hearing
Right,
that I sat on, or that I had to sit for, with the gentleman who did the
right,
assessment.
and she has no opinion on that one.
She had a pretty good one in mind.
Okay,
Okay, so
Okay,
again,
yeah.
like I said, I don't get into who
Okay.
else had their
Yeah.
meeting. I can only speak for what happened for me. And she had an opinion in that meeting,
okay.
and then she had an opinion in my assessment. And then it went from that abatement hearing, it went to the next JOP, the Board of Civil Authority, and was there for that, and then also went on my site visit and gave her opinion, and also cast a vote for said thing. So again, conflict of interest. We know that, we've established that, it's been agreed upon that that is a conflict of interest. So moving forward, where do we go? Like, what do we do
Finish.
to not, to
I
not,
guess the best thing I can say, just here right now, my understanding is that, say like the person we're talking about stays on the board
Mhm.
or as a GOP. And they can go to meetings, they can go to on site, you know, to check out the properties like we did with yours. The only thing they can't do is vote, because that's the final decision. You can't assume because she expresses an opinion. You know, she's not the dictator that says, okay, this is what I say. There's other people involved with it.
I'm aware, so it's a perceived, it's a perceived opinion. So when she, like we talked about in the last meeting, she has been here for a significant amount of time. People in town respect her. I'd like to believe, am I correct? So when she says something, they listen to it. Am I right?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
How can you,
well, either way, let's get away from that. How about she voted on it? Because you just said that she should cast a vote. She can go to the site, she can, you know, have an opinion,
Yeah.
but she voted on it.
Right, from now on, we are aware of this, and
Yeah. and we
we're
can
going
move forward
to,
with that.
But she was aware of it. She
How
knew.
did she-
How do you not know?
I'm not
How
gonna
do you
argue
not
with you.
know? I mean,
The
it's
ethics
just,
just started, this code of ethics.
you've always had ethics. You guys all have to do the ethics. Everybody that's appointed has to look at ethics. Like ethics is you're a voted in person. Like you're not just voted in by the board and said, hey, you're appointed by the board. Like everybody goes through ethics in any kind of position. Like lawyers go through ethics stuff. I went through ethics stuff for my business for the state. Everybody goes, ethics isn't new. Okay? So if there's a perceived conflict of interest where you know that you can benefit from a decision that you make, that's a conflict of interest, period. And how do you not know that? Then if you're saying she didn't know that, you're almost insinuating that she's not very smart. And I'd like to believe she's a very intelligent woman. Okay? I think we can all agree that she's an intelligent woman. Okay, so I mean, I'm glad that moving forward, but now we're gonna have to recuse ourselves from, I mean, I guess what the ultimate thing is we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
What was that?
So ultimately, what it's come down to is that we're not doing anything as a town. As a select board, you're not gonna do anything. It's kind of like, you're done. We're done talking about this.
No.
We have not said that. What we are going to do, like we said, this new ethics policy, the state and the municipal, just became active yesterday, the first of the month. We are going to go through it. We have to have a town version of an ethics policy. We're gonna go through all those things. So we are going to do it. But what has happened in the past, you know what I'm saying, the vote, okay, I don't know, maybe she shouldn't have voted. But we can't go back and do that now. All this stuff was not in place at that time. But we will move forward and do our best to get a ethics policy up and to go by it. And if there's a question, what happens, I don't know if you seem to have read a lot, so you probably know it, but if there's a complaint, the ethics board doesn't investigate it themselves. What will happen, you could write to the ethics board, and this is my understanding, there may be more to it, you write to the ethics board, and then they would let us know and we investigate it. And then-
So I've contacted the Secretary of State, so ultimately I have to file my complaint with the Secretary of State.
That's my
which-
understanding, read
which-
through the policy, not with the
Right.
Secretary of State.
Well,
With the
I
eth-
filed my complaint
the
with
head
the
of the
Secretary of
ethics
State,
board.
so,
No,
but
you
now
can go to
then,
the ethics board, the chairman of the ethics board.
which I did. And so, but I had to file my complaint with the Secretary of State's
Well,
office.
that could be because the ethics board was not in,
Well, no,
was
because,
just coming up now.
January 1st,
yeah, so I mean, I've spoken to.
So we're
plethora of
talking
people,
procedure
so-
here, that's my
Yeah.
understanding, I'm gonna read, trust me, I'm gonna read through it a bunch more times, but that's my understanding.
Which is
How it's
fine,
gonna
I wholeheartedly believe that you guys as a board are going to, you know, hold the ethics laws that have just come out to a high standard, I have no doubt about that.
What would make you
Okay.
doubt that we wouldn't?
Nothing, I just said, I believe that you guys are going to do that, I have no concerns there. But you guys aren't sitting in all the meetings that she's sitting in. Okay, so again, we have a position, we have kind of three positions that are kind of like on the questioning block because we have the delinquent tax collector, then we have the person that is the assistant assessor, plus then we have the person that's on the Board of Civil Authority. So you've got three kind of like, you know, so whatever. Nevertheless, I guess it's just gonna come down to, you know, people policing ourselves in that specific board and then filing complaints when things don't happen. I just hate to see this turn into like something really big that it doesn't have to, because I don't want it to be anything super big. I know it sounds kind of like I do, but I kind of just want some resolution and kind of just move forward. But people don't want to give up their positions, and so it's just going to be made known. And we already look really bad from the first freaking thing that just came out, so I can see it getting even worse. So, thank you for your time.
Any other visitors? Lisa? Kimberly? No. All right. Reading and approval of records and orders from December 19th. Can I have a motion to accept them as written?
Motion to accept.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And, we wanted to say something about December 12th. We had an agenda for December 12th. We were gonna do a budget work session, but unfortunately, we didn't have a quorum, so there was no meeting, just to, finish that one up, right, Lori? Okay. Road conditions, well, we know where our crew is tonight. I don't have any word from them at all.
No,
No.
they didn't give me an update.
Okay. You have signed the highway ordinance.
You guys approved it at the last meeting, but you want to sign the additional copy.
You ready for publication as soon as you get it? And
You can do it, sign stuff.
Get ready.
Under road conditions and road, there was a notice you sent us about the Better Back Road grant. Was that the East Road grant? It's $32,000, the state pays 80%.
32,000, the state pays 80%.
Or is that,
I'm trying to sign the road grant.
I didn't print it off, I'll have to print it off.
I have one here for the road erosion grant, but it's much smaller.
Is it 3,200?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's it, maybe I added some extra zeros.
It's, here we have now. 3,232, 20% state match, or town match, which is 808. This is for VCRC to assist Dave in going through the inventory of our roads and erosion and all the culverts.
Maybe I just put an extra zero there.
Yeah, this is gotta be the same thing that we're talking about.
Because I know we already got the one for East Road.
Right.
I'm the only sign.
Yeah, doing the right one.
Thank you. Anything else anybody have on highway or anything?
Anything on that here?
No, just Sportsman Club Road, the top of that was a little slushy, right, he said?
Yeah,
And he had put some stone in to try to resolve the issue, but
did say it didn't break up like spring breakup, but it was getting a little,
I was up there today, it's alright,
It's
yeah,
there.
it could be better, it just needs to freeze back up again.
Well, it's pretty tough, back past Suzanne Drive, if you keep going past my road.
Yeah, where the turnaround is.
Yeah, that little section's pretty
that's
bad.
kinda,
There's only really one house, and someone's really building up there too.
okay. Anything on recycling? Alrighty. Discussion, appointment of ethics liaison officer. Now, Mike wanted to wait until we had a full board here,
Yeah, there you go.
and we don't again.
Yeah, it's like a valuable.
Oh, well, yeah, going around,
He don't need today's anyway to come up.
okay. Can we wait? We got till the end of the month. As long as, keep reading, Doug.
Uh-oh. I got a feeling something's gonna happen here.
I think, well, if, yeah. But we'll wait,
Yeah, I will
we'll,
keep reading.
we'll board. Okay. Correspondence, Lori.
I received an emailed request for someone looking for an assessor clerk job description, which I know we talked about preparing, and I don't know if one has ever been formally prepared.
I don't believe we did that. I think that happened probably around the October, November, when we had election and all that stuff. I know that we had talked about it because we had the reappraisal, and there was a whole lot of work, and we thought maybe, Sally might need some help there, but things have settled down a lot, and now especially with the state probably taking over reappraisals every so many years, I'd like to hold off and wait on this. But if you don't wanna make a decision, we can wait till Kurt and Mike get here.
How often does it, every 3 years they wanna do it, right?
3 to 4 or 6?
I heard 4, and I've also heard 6, but if the state makes us do this every 4 years,
I'd like to wait and see what they're actually gonna do.
That makes sense.
yeah.
Alright, let's hold off on that too. Anything else under correspondence?
Not that comes to mind.
Okay. Jen, were you gonna read something, or you're good with your
What,
everything?
the letter from Limerick?
Yeah.
I'll read it if you want me to read
You wanna, or just give the highlight points on it?
it.
Correspondence from John Tiffany, the assessor.
Let's see if I can find it
I
here.
got it right here if you need it.
Do you got it printed out? Oh, okay. So this is from John Tiffany, the Limerick assessor, 12/20. He states that during his free time, he likes to look at select board hearing minutes in the towns that he works in. And he came across 11/21 regarding conflict of interest situation. He states that he does not get influenced by any lister or assessor clerk in town that he works in. He listens to what concerns they have on properties, but the assessment is based on the physical features of the property, including the dwelling and outbuildings. The assessment is based on most recent reappraisal based on fair market value as required by the state of Vermont. He also states that the town's most recent assessed values from reappraisal were reviewed by several of Limerick's appraisers, including the senior appraiser, who has over 40 years' experience, whom the state of Vermont consults with quite regularly. The reappraisal was tested by the state of Vermont. It passed their three-pronged test. If the data failed any one of these three prongs, it would cause NIMRIC to review and correct the needed data to pass the test. There are several towns that he works in, as well as towns in which other NIMRIC assessors work in which the assessor clerk also holds several other town offices. Two of the towns I work in, the assessor clerk is also the delinquent tax collector. In other towns, that includes being a town clerk, another assistant town clerk, and as stated above, none of these positions influence NIMRIC's assessor assessment decisions. Merry
Yes.
Christmas and Happy New Year, John Tiffany.
Thank you, John. Okay. Anything else, Lori, old business? Nope. New business?
Okay.
Alright. Do we need to go into executive session regarding the pending or probable civil litigation? No. Okay. And I'd like to start our budget work session. We could start working on that, right?
Yep.
Okay. Where should we start?
If you wanna, I put, the most recent budget papers in your box, if you all have them. You just wanna start with the income and go right down.
Yep. You wanna do receipts first?
The receipts first, the National Forest bill has come through, until I balance the checkbook for December, it won't show, it's like 33,000. So probably if you keep the same budget, that would,
35?
Yep.
That is the people that have their property in the current use. The state pays a portion of their taxes. But you have to have a forest plan and abide by what the forester says. State-owned property, we budgeted 200, they gave us 306. We never know what the state's gonna pay us.
that's for the little garage next to you, right?
Yes. Uh, 23, we budgeted 150, they gave us 257. Last year we budgeted 200, and they gave us 306. You wanna bump it up to 250? Or keep it 200?
You should be 200.
Keep it 200?
Yeah, it's under, right? It's not a big deal.
Okay. Sale of town-owned property, that was at tax sale.
Those are two lots that, somebody bid on, we never know if anyone's gonna come forward.
Alright, so we'll keep it 0 and
Yeah, I would keep that zero.
wait, I was wrong on the National Forest. National Forest is all the state land that we have here. That's what they pay the taxes. But the use value is the one that, if you have your land in the current use program. But the state land, and the state pays us whatever there's.
So somebody got the state forest, but somebody had a camp and they were.
So that probably changed what, because of the assessment?
As far as I know, I don't think they go by our assessment, do they?
Are we on the pay in lieu of taxes?
Yeah. I don't know if they,
Isn't that when, like, National Forest logs all over the country and then divides it all up and we just get a portion of whatever their income is, whether they've logged in our town or not?
yeah.
So it's kind of random.
you know, they own like
They don't know how they
a
can.
third of the town,
Yeah.
and they pay us what they want.
Okay, so that's use
Use value?
use value?
Use value is the one where if you have your property in the forest management plan,
Oh,
and that's when the state pays part of your taxes. I was wrong on that one. So, let's see, use value last year we budgeted 10,000, they gave us 12. Last year we budgeted 8,000 and they gave us 13. We probably could go up
So we wanna go like 9?
9 or 10?
Yeah,
oh, 10.
10?
10.
Okay.
As long as no one withdraws from current use, we should be fine.
Okay. Municipal payment.
So, I feel like, remember the auditor said we needed to begin including an education billing fee that's retained?
Yes,
And we created a line item?
yes.
I'm wondering if it isn't that 43,000, that's the little bit that the state gives us for sending out their school property bills.
Yep.
I'm wondering if he's not making the connection that that's what that is. And feeling like we should be budgeting for it. We've never budgeted for it in the
No.
past.
And we said, thank you very much, because it's $43,000 that we didn't know we were gonna receive. So should we budget something there, or? I wonder what I wrote down.
He said,
Education billing fee. I think that's what they suggested.
they suggested we bill, and he created this line item for us, but I wonder if he didn't realize that the 43,000 is what he's talking about, it's just we've never budgeted. Unless there's two different things, and I don't know. I mean, I can clarify it this year, but it won't help for
Yeah.
budgeting purposes now.
Because they always figured it when they did their fund balance, because they took all the income, we just never showed it here. If we show something here, that would be less that we have to raise in taxes.
Right. So instead of it showing up on the fund balance side, it'll be on this side.
Yeah. Can we do like 20,000? Can we go back and see how much we got other years?
Yeah.
Is that easy to pull, Lori?
No, let me just get a couple town reports.
So
It's not in there,
municipal payment is, what is that?
because Lori sends out the bills for taxes,
Yeah.
and there's a part on there where the state gives us money for that,
Oh, cause she sends it, okay,
Yeah. and does the paperwork.
okay.
And if we don't bill anything, that 43,000 is for the good, just in case we don't meet our budget.
So, okay.
Just
And is it
gonna
short
look.
of 43 or just what you see?
I'm gonna put a question.
This is not my strongest suit, so that's why
That's
I'm
all right.
asking a lot of questions here.
She looks other years and see what we get. Alright, we can go back down through. Land sale interest. Land sale interest. Lori's got, we've got a fund that people gave us money when they sold their land to National Forest. This is many years ago, we asked them to give us money in lieu of taxes. Because we knew we were gonna lose their taxes. So they did, we invested it into invested funds. We have, right now, we have 161,000. Well, no, we've got about 20,000 more, and there's 181,000. And we have been borrowing from that. We borrowed from that fund to pay one of the trucks, or
Yeah,
from ourselves.
weren't we talking about using it
Yeah.
potentially for the fire truck?
Yeah, so, that's what that interest is, and she takes it off as much as she can each year, but these are in CDs, or they were. So instead of breaking CD whenever they came due, she took some off.
So let's see,
Back to municipal payment, okay.
in
Did we
2020,
lose all our gang, or what happened?
yeah, budgeting is boring.
The budgeting is boring.
So last year you have the number. In 2022, it was 25,800. 2021, it was 36,000. In 2020, it was 35,000. Oh, that's,
So it varies, it's not.
so it varies. I mean, if we got 25,000 in just the year before last, I don't know if you wanna go higher than that and then be sure.
Yeah. Well, can we put 20 in there, question 20?
Alright.
That's municipal payment.
What is it if you average them together?
Okay. 43,000. 35,000.
Divided by 4, is that how you do that?
Yep.
Yep.
107, that's a lot.
That the total? 107 might be the total, divided by 4.
Divide, yeah,
Let's see,
174.
26,
It's just about 20 in. Keep it 20, at least something's in there. 10, 16, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 33, 9, 40.
Comes up to like 27,000 a year average.
yeah, so 20 sounds like a good number to be safe, right?
Yeah,
Alright, 20,000 it is.
but now, the next line down, education billing fee retained. Is that what you're saying? Maybe he meant
Well,
those
that's what
two?
I'm saying, he wants us to budget for that, and he added a new line item in our budget for it, but I think unless there's another fee I don't know about, I think we only need one line.
I think you're right.
I think it's because we've never budgeted for that 43,000.
And you've always put it in municipal payment,
Right,
and
as
they
opposed
did,
to education billing
Yeah.
fee.
let's keep it one line, whatever one you choose, and
I mean, if they wanna call it the education billing fee that we retained, and I'll just, going forward, move the number into there.
however you feel, however they say, but it's there somewhere.
So what are we moving into that line?
Into which one,
Okay, well, no, I just heard you say education billing fee retained, so.
we think these two are the same.
Okay.
It's-
Right, if that's what the auditors wanna call it, we'll just change the name.
Okay. And keep 20 in, the line item that's municipal payment, wherever you have it, okay?
Yeah.
So we'll take out that. Well, that one won't show up in the town report, education billing.
Right.
A lot of these are on, Lori's chart of accounts, there's lots of them. Whether she uses them or not, and you just can't get rid of some of them.
Right.
Land sale fund interest, we budgeted, $725 and we took in $1487. We should probably do more, cause we're gonna have the full 180-some thousand in there this year.
Right, I mean, I don't know what the projection is for interest rates, if they're gonna continue to go up or not.
Any idea, interest rates going up?
I thought, that's one thing they want to bring down is the interest rates. Right, you know, you hear that from politicians, if they're gonna try it or no.
Yeah.
But Trump says that's one of the things he's working for, so. And actually, we just got like a CD that we were dealing with, and how that you really have to re-sign
Yep.
up.
Yep.
And, we were told that it is a lower rate that we got than we did last year,
Oh,
so.
Well, maybe we wanna go up, but not a ton up.
let's go 1,000 then. Would 1,000 be,
Yep.
sound reasonable? Money market interest, let's keep it, let's keep it, 100. We budgeted 125, we took in 94, we're gonna budget 100. And checking interest, we budgeted 100, we took in 71.
So do you go down to 70? Do you go to 75?
I like either 70 or 75, I don't care.
75?
Okay,
75?
okay.
Alright.
Permits and fees, local fine. This is when when the sheriff used to.
See, we didn't, budget anything, because we didn't have a sheriff. But I think the first couple of months, they still, until town meeting when they were voted down. So you still have like January, February, maybe a little in March, but probably going forward, if they stopped and got a ticket on a town road, they turn over a portion of that to us. But without us having a sheriff under contract, I don't think we'll get any more.
We better do 0. Cause the state police, that's, I don't know how.
Well, it depends what they write it under, to the last person talking a long time ago now, but, it depends what ordinance they write it under. If they write it under a town ordinance, that's my understanding, the town gets some of the road. But if it's written under a state ordinance, the state police, well, the state gets everything.
So if they pull you over on the state highway, the state gets the money, but if they pull you over on East Road, the town
Well,
gets
but
the
see,
money.
well, they still could ticket you, say like the speed limit is, somebody goes through town 55 miles an hour.
Yep,
The state speed limit is 50. So they still could write you under like the basic rule type thing. It
Yeah.
depends what they wanna do, but being state police, they're probably gonna go with the, what I just gave is kind of an extreme example, but
so there might be some amount of money that we would still receive.
yeah, if they wanted to write you under, say like a stop sign or something like that.
If you go through a stop.
But I think there's a state version of that too, so it depends.
I think just keep it 0 and, yeah. Beer and wine license,
So I would, stick with the 185. We had extra income in there because when Belmont's changed hands, the new people had to get their license, so going
When,
forward, it'll just be the renewals.
when they had like the wedding or something too off-site, did they have to apply for, license at that time too, or no?
The people who were hosting the wedding had to apply. And then the
she did
Yeah,
Ron
the
and
catering
Macy
here.
people,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
came and got our approval, but it didn't have to do with, this is for Bill Lutz who sells liquor and the golf course who sells
Okay,
liquor.
but that didn't have anything to do with it.
Right,
Alright.
different. I don't think
driveway,
we got any money out of it, we just had to do approval.
Right, that was, yeah, that's kind of what I was asking.
driveway permits. We budgeted 100 and we took in 120, so we must have 6 new driveways?
We must have 6 new driveways in town. It's amazing. You think we're gonna get 6 more this
Are we
coming
gonna have
year?
a lot of driveways going in this year, or keep it 100? Drop it down,
Keep it 100.
keep it 100, okay. Fish and game license. We budgeted 200 and Lori took in 214 for her fee. And
That's because every time you sell a license, we get like $2 or
You
something.
get $1.50 per tag. And the state, when it's $101, the state gets all the rest.
what?
When I sell a hunting license, like a non-resident, $101.
Oh, yeah, you
We
get,
get $1.50 and the state gets.
oh, yeah,
all-
yeah.
So.
But there's an adding problem, the computer can't add there.
Oh, boy.
200,
I'll keep it 200.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, computer.
Cause the computer can't add.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Wildlife reports, we budgeted that Lori's gonna check in 30 deer and bear, and she checked in 39? Would you get
Well,
one?
we've gotten paid for 39 so far. I've received turkey, archery. I've not received the hunting yet. So that's gonna carry on into next year, which is probably how it is every year. But yeah, the town gets $1 every time I check in a deer.
Keep it 30? What's the hunting predictions, Doug?
Huh?
What's the hunting
I
prediction?
didn't get out enough to,
Okay.
to,
Deed recordings.
Oh, we misjudged that one, didn't we? I guess the boom of deed recordings is slowing down. For a while, everybody was just refinancing, rates were low, and then there was,
How much, what date are you up to on recording?
she's, I think that very end of September now. So in a week and a half's
November,
time,
December.
we've moved like 8 weeks.
And this is right up to date.
This is right up to, yeah.
Alright, so,
You wanna like cut it in half or?
I don't know if it'd go half, maybe
8,000, 9,
8 or 7?
You only took in 7.
75,
75, yeah.
7,500.
because you have a couple more months, well, not going on this, but
But
we
we
could
will,
have figured, yeah.
alright.
I mean, you lost a lot of time with elections and all that crap there that we had to go
Which we
through.
won't have next year.
Marriage license. We budgeted 50, $45 Lori got, and how many people are gonna get marriage license this year?
Yeah.
0.
Saves 0 in the long run too, the other way.
Yeah.
50?
50.
Okay. And these are all subject to change. When we review them again, or if Lori's finds something, or we look them over and say, gee, maybe we should have done something different.
Yeah, I'll give you guys an updated version that you can review for the next meeting and decide how things are looking.
Copies of vital statistics, that's birth, deaths, and marriages, you can charge $10? What, is that what
We
it
charge
is?
$10 and, you know, when people need, now they need to get their real licenses or they need to verify and renew their driver's license. We were getting an awful lot more of the marriage certificate requests and for things, so,
We keep it 100.
sure.
Examination of records, when people come in to use the vault or look at our records, you can charge.
Yeah, the state allowed us to go from $2 up to $4, and it looks like it's still nowhere near.
Can we probably go 100 then?
Yeah.
100, okay. Certified and uncertified copies, that's not bad there.
Yeah.
Let's keep that 25.
Alright.
Miscellaneous fee, that is Mike's favorite.
$4.29.
Maybe you found 9 cents outside or something.
Yeah, I can't tell you what that is off the top of my head.
Let's go 0, I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, no.
Now this record restoration, we don't budget anything for it. Lori takes in the money and then she puts the record restoration and the technology money, which is, should be the same amount, in a separate fund that we created many years ago that she can use to have her land record books Xeroxed, any technologies she can take out of there. And we have the fund building up. Let's see what we have
Why is there a difference in the amount?
It should be both the same.
Yeah, but it's budgeted for 0, the income was $12.96.
Oh, the computer can't add again.
I don't know about that computer, Lori.
You know what it is that was probably the number prior, and so the general ledger copies all the numbers over, but it just copies flat numbers, it doesn't put in the math, the
Formulas.
calculations, so I have to go through and put in all the calculations, and if I miss it, and I change a number, now it's not adding, so.
I think we're pretty good though, we can figure this.
Yeah, we have to fix it.
So record restoration has about 18,000 in it.
So I think last time when we purchased the copier, we used money from the technology and record restoration funds. The red books in the vault that all the land records go in, that's what we used to purchase them.
And you paid out this year 1,600 in record restoration. You must have done some books. And you paid out $900 in technology expenses. So what Lori will do is take the money out of those funds and reimburse our general fund.
So we wanna keep those, 0?
Yeah. Now, the excess weight permit,
So once we decided, we weren't gonna hound the people who didn't file them, but we were gonna accept the ones that did.
mhm,
So it looks like $150 is a good number.
okay,
They're what, $10 each, so 15 people are honest?
mhm.
Yeah, that's when someone comes over the bridge with a, overweight permit.
Yeah, Randy Roads and
Yeah.
cannabis local filing fee, $200.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Penalties and interest. This would be, the delinquent taxes. We budgeted, we've taken in 14,000 and took in 24,000.
So I guess we can never really anticipate who files their taxes late, but Sally had 2 really large filers, or property owners not pay this year, so it really made a difference. I mean, I think both of their taxes were $12,000 to $14,000,
And they were late.
and they were late, so that made a big difference. I haven't gotten figures from her yet, so.
So we'll wait and see the penalty and interest. Sally kind of gives a good estimate of knowing what she can collect, who's gonna pay up their taxes, and it's just the same ones every year that just don't wanna pay on time, and
I think I usually turn over about $100,000 every year, and I think this year was about 135,000,
on some.
so a little bit higher than normal.
And then the delinquent tax revenue, 131 she took in.
Yeah.
Now, are we supposed to be budgeting for that too? Let's see if it gave us notes from last year. Ed, no?
I don't remember him saying we
No,
should.
he didn't.
Because we've already.
No. No. So we can budget 0 there. We don't know how much people are gonna pay, if they're gonna pay up or not.
Right. So the first one we leave blank for Sally, the second line is a 0.
Yep.
Alright.
Reimburse tax sale expenses.
So, at a tax sale, nobody bid on it, the town acquired it, and then later on, there were 2 people who came forward and purchased the town's interest in the redemption period, so the town received that money. We can't ever bank on that, so I think,
Keep it at zero.
Cause somewhere we paid out, you know, expenses.
right, on the other end, right under select board.
Select board tax, we paid out, 1,500
Yeah,
for
1577,
property.
yeah.
And then we took in, and then they reimbursed us 4,000. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Well, by the time we pay attorney fee and all that.
Yeah.
Dog license, Lori. Ooh, that was good.
A lot of that is the $50 fines you guys implemented near the end. It did make a difference. No.
Keep it 1,500 or higher?
I'd like to think people are gonna pay on time and we won't need to worry about the $50.
Yeah.
Keep it 15.
Yep. Receipt dog officer. Oh yeah, that computer's really. Receipt dog officer.
I'm just gonna redo all of the calculations.
Yeah. Receipt dog officer and, what's that other word there? Dog officer and RE.
Regarding something.
Dog officer and,
I'll have to see.
okay. But that's a zero.
I think when like if the dog officer kennels a dog and we get reimbursed for our costs, that's money coming in.
Well, that could be reimbursed, yeah.
We'll be reimbursed. I'll check to see what that's supposed to be.
Permits and appeals for Board of Adjustment. That $90 was for our sign.
I think that's
That was us, we were the only one that went to the ZBA. Let's do zero because,
It's really normally the applicant would file. It's just that we were we would pay.
John, I was gonna ask you, before the last snow, could we get the sign in now? Because, I mean, there was no snow, the ground was okay.
I
and-
reached out to the guy that I got the initial bid from, and I haven't heard any correspondence. I'm wondering if we can find
Yeah,
somebody to do the sign now.
101.
Oh, he's in around.
Three
If
ordinance.
Lake's on,
Oh, thank you. I'll try to catch that.
so we're in need of somebody to.
See if I can
construct the
slide
sign.
that in.
So, yeah, whenever, I thought, well, it's nice out, you know, we don't have any snow, and then
I
all of a
got
sudden,
You can spell check.
I know,
It gets you.
sometimes it doesn't even work.
Thank you.
let's go permits and appeals, zero. Permits and appeals to the zoning administrator.
Yep.
Keep it 1,500, because we budget it coming in, and then we pay, we paid,
She didn't submit her final hours.
we paid out 1,800, but it's not in the same years.
Because last year, she didn't submit, so we have 2023 expenses in our 2024.
Yep.
The hard part is, even though the town looks like we're collecting it and looks like we're paying it, the people who apply pay these fees.
So as long as it's coming in and going out, we're okay. We can't do one side and not the other.
We can't do one side and not the other. We either have to have them both or none.
Okay, recycling receipts. We budgeted 13, we took in 12,380. Ooh, that's close.
Yep.
12.
12.
Are you gonna raise your, well, they don't get raised until November, so we won't see much of that this year.
No.
We have done the same.
12,000.
You want 12,000?
Yeah.
But that's for selling the cards to the public?
Yes.
Yeah. I think we have more seniors doing it than younger people.
Is that a profitable business after you pay the people to come get the
We're
stuff and?
No.
We're the red. We can't afford to charge people what we have to charge. Our expenses are $47,500.
You take in 12? Paul? 3.
So 15,000 we're taking in.
Nobody would bring in, trash if you charged them correctly.
Exactly. And it would be on the side of the roads and it would be a mess, so.
I'm not picking it up.
Right.
Something
I've done enough
The
of that.
hard part is people kind of squawk about having to pay $100.
Yeah, they already complain about it now.
And if we'd have to put it up to, a couple $100 a car.
You're better off when you had the incinerator over.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
So should we keep it 13 or drop it to 12?
Paul.
Yeah, keep it 12.
Alright.
Yeah, last year we budgeted 12 and we got 13, so we went up to 13 and now we're 12. Recycling receipts demo, 3,000.
This is the mattresses and the demolition we receive and we charge separately for. You get rid of your microwave, washing machine.
And I think since Carol's been on top of it, she's been on top of that.
Yeah.
Nobody just kinda charged me $10 for my paint cans. Who did
Yeah.
that, Carol?
Yeah, she's good.
$10.
Yeah.
I know she's been running around by herself down there pretty much.
I know.
I heard that.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
she's trying to, you know,
Do it all.
but be nice,
I know.
but it's not really helping.
No.
She's what, a tip can out there.
But he's still doing
Yeah.
the same, that's the gripe.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of grumblings.
Recycling returns, this is when, Dave brings stuff down to the junkyard and we get money back.
Yeah.
We budgeted 0, let's keep it 0.
What do we decide for the other one? 3,000? Or did we change it?
3,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. Recycling returns, 0. Recycling SWIP grant,
I could probably take that out because we as a town don't do slip grants anymore. It's all through the Alliance.
right.
So I'll take that line item right now. Okay.
Recycling receipts, the hauler, should be about 75, how did we get 100? We got another hauler? Oh yeah, we did.
We had a fourth one and now we're down to 3. We had 5, we're down to 4.
Yeah, and 3 paid, or 3, my friend never pays, I'll have to call him.
Well, wait till I set up the stuff. I haven't set up
Okay,
the stuff.
yeah.
So
So we're gonna
where are
do
we at?
100?
100 or?
100, yeah. Ooh, all right, receipts copier,
Ooh, 10 cents a copy, we're moving.
keep it $10.
$10.
Receipt fax, $50. DMV renewal fee, 15.
Good item here.
What are those, like temporary tags?
Right, where somebody pays the town $3 and we will give them a little temporary renewal. 15?
Yeah.
Okay, miscellaneous revenue, 1962. One of them was a dog in there, you were gonna move to dog or something.
So I moved that, if I did it, I should have, and I will look. But, we received a refund for the household hazardous waste facility that they built in Bennington, and each town had to pitch in so much. But they received more grant funds than they anticipated, so they gave money back to the towns, and I didn't have a place to put it, so I put it in miscellaneous revenue. But that amount was 1915.09. So that would leave like $45 extra, and most of that is the $5 people will pay to post their land. I don't have a revenue line item for land posting, so.
Let's just keep it 0.
You're right.
said you had a dog in there, but you moved the dog and get the dog out of there.
Yeah, we did go through dogs and figure that out.
And now highway receipts, well, this is gonna be a fun one too.
So, they prepaid 2 of the 2025 payments in 2024 because there was so much flooding in July, there were so many towns that were having a lot of trouble with their highways, so the state paid us early. So I really feel like you only want to budget 20,000, you don't want to budget for 4 payments next year, because we should only get 2.
Okay,
Which is what we did last year, but they went and gave us extra payments because of the flooding.
so nothing else that we need to budget for. Well, we've got miscellaneous receipts with that, what that is, but that'll be a 0.
Fee
Sure.
structures.
Better back door grant.
We should, and I can look this up, I don't know if you wanna put in here what we anticipate getting back from FEMA.
I don't think so, because we don't know when they're gonna pay and we don't know how much they're gonna pay.
And we did get our class 2 grant. I don't know if we're gonna budget for some of our match, if we wanna budget for grant funds, or if we don't. And maybe we wanna wait until Dave is here to talk to him.
Yeah. This FEMA flood reimbursement, this 60,000, Lori said it came in August. 8,700 was for one of the floods year before last,
2022.
2022. And then we got 52,000 in October for 2023.
Still 2022.
2022? Okay, all 2022.
It's all 2022, and there's another one yet to be received,
For 2022.
still for 2022. All that FEMA work is finally starting.
How do they ever keep track of big floods and all that stuff? I think we should just go 0. I'll tell you also why. Last year, the highway, when the auditors came through and did all their, whatever they do with their money and tell us how much we have for a fund balance, the highway was in a deficit and the town was in a positive. The towns are not supposed to run on a deficit. If we do, we're supposed to raise the money. But, as Lori, we've got money on the town side to cover it if we had to. If we have to take a vote and move it, we can do that. But we've got enough to cover the highway deficit if we had to. So we didn't do anything with the highway deficit, and here it's 60,000, and I think that's gonna help Dave's fund balance this year
Right.
and put us back in a positive. So, we just did it,
We just did it.
we just did it.
Okay. Do you want to move on to expenses? Are you still short?
It's up to these guys, I'm,
Yeah, I'm good.
okay, we're not gonna do highway, keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. AO, salary. We budgeted 1,500, she took in 18, yes. We budgeted 15, we paid her 18, this 500 was from 2023. And then education fund, we budgeted 150, and she didn't use any for education. And expenses, we budgeted 50, and she spent 1059 for expenses, could be posters or
Postage or-
postage, yeah.
She
So-
needs more filing paraphernalia.
So should we just keep the same amounts?
Yeah.
1,500,
You're not talking about a bunch of money, so.
okay. 1,500, 150, and 50, okay. Auditor, do we know their amount? Oh, 26.5.
2600.
Yeah, I think you gave that to me last time. And thank goodness we have the signed contract, because we can use some of that ARPA money for it.
Yeah.
So that's The audit, that's 26.5.
26.5. Postage, this is to mail out the town reports, 1,000. We budgeted and it cost us 1,100.
So you wanna budget like 1,200? Stamps are not
Whoa.
getting cheaper.
Yeah, 1,200. Now, some towns just say, well, you have to vote on it. Come and pick up your town report at the town office. Do you think people would do that? They're so used to getting them through the mail.
So,
We always
You
mail the
could.
town reports to everybody, so there are some towns that are trying to save on postage and just say they're available at the town office, come and get them.
That's not a bad idea.
Is it gonna tie you up? Everybody's gonna come and say, oh, Lori, oh, yeah, oh, and then
leave them in a
No, you
box
just
out
have like
there.
a stack or
Exactly.
right there, grab them.
just go into voters. I
There you
don't know.
go.
Oh, you'd have to put it on the warrant, and you'd have to vote on it.
We'd have to vote on it.
And
I
if
think
it
it's a good
fails,
idea.
you're gonna wanna put money in there in case it fails.
Yeah,
If it helps save the town money, I think we should do it.
all
With
right.
all the Facebook stuff we have now, I guess you could get the word out, and we
Town
do
report.
put a copy of the town report on the website now.
Yep.
And maybe people won't even,
The other thing is, how many people actually look at it? Like, you're spending stamps and sending it, they're probably
You're
gonna
making
look at
books.
it.
they used to, first thing they looked at, birth, death, marriage. Oh, well, no, that was second, third. First was the delinquent tax list.
Yeah.
And then birth, deaths, marriages, which aren't in there anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. Could leave them
Everything's
out,
electronic anyways.
leave it in the hallway
You just stack in a
with
box.
their stickers, or take a sticker. Cause you don't wanna order more than,
Yeah, so you have like a checklist with everybody's name in town. Say, oop, John Dunn came down and got his, he's got one, so like, I can't come down and get another one.
Well, that's the hard part is, it's really only for registered voters, and like, I don't know, I can't think of but sometimes there's like 5 registered voters in a household, and I just send one per household. But in actuality, all 5 of those people would be entitled to a report.
Why can't you email a PDF report to all the registered voters? And in that same email, state to them, if you would like a hard copy, please email me. And I will have it ready for you. You can come pick it up at the town.
I have an email list of maybe 70 or 80
I was gonna say,
people.
it's not very big.
It's not very big. I
And
don't,
then the older group is
yeah,
never
they
gonna be
don't-
there.
yeah, that's true.
They.
So the best thing to, I mean, if we're going to decide to go that direction, would be somebody who could like go to all the older people and be able to get all their books and then deliver them. Cause that's the only way those people are gonna get it, if you don't deliver it by mail.
I mean, maybe people who don't want it by mail anymore, but by state law, we have to forward it to every registered voter unless the warrant allows us to just have it available here.
So does every registered, the question is every registered voter required to have an email address? Because if they don't, then that means you can't electronically do it.
No,
So you have to do both. Right. That's what I have to do with the health insurance shit.
so, you think we should put it on warrant article
I
then?
think we should put it on the warrant, yeah. The only other thing is you could put it on the website and they could download it themselves.
Yeah,
I think the other way we could go to is that if we had, people who said that they really wanted one, and then they have to be like, so we have to get them made by X to be able to get them out to people. So
Yeah.
then by X, you need to say, I want a copy of this. And then that
Hard
way,
copy.
we're only making 50 instead of 500 or 800.
Opt in.
I mean, technically, like you said, if there was a list of everybody or labels, either it's mailed to you, or if you let me know you'll stop and pick it up, or you want to email, then
so, okay, so say we vote at town meeting and say, the town reports are available here.
Yeah.
Pick them up.
Yeah.
Well, so-and-so said, I can't pick them up. So then she ended up mailing them again.
Tons of phone calls and
And there
tons of-
goes,
Right, sometimes you create more work than
Just
necessary.
play doing it.
Mhm.
That is true.
so either you.
Or hire somebody temporarily and just deliver them all, and if you save yourself stamps, you probably pay less to the temporary person and take a couple hours,
We
done.
used to try to do that as an 8th grade fundraiser.
There you
To
go.
have all the 8th graders deliver them, but it didn't work out well.
Happened in one town that Cub Scouts or somebody said they were delivering them, and then they later passed the deadline of 10 days notice, they were found in somebody's trunk of the car,
Yeah.
so. And then we had one man that just walked around town and he walked up and down the road and delivered them all, but I think you could put them in the mailboxes then, and now you're not supposed to put them in the mailbox or tie them on, or. Maybe we opened a can of worms here, what do you think? Well, let's put it
I
on,
don't think about it.
yeah, question warrant article, we can think about it. And town reports, this is to print them up, we budgeted 24 and paid 21. I think still go 24. Board of Health, salary, $25,
Yeah.
and expenses 0. Cemetery, we don't have their,
I do not have their budget yet.
okay. All right. Conservation Commission salary, we budgeted 150 and only part of the board got paid. Conservation, that's still the same number, yeah. Thank you, good night.
Good night.
Like,
150. And their expenses is 0. Delinquent tax collector salary, we budgeted 5,000, she took in 6 this year. Last year we budgeted 5 and she only got paid 4, so it's it's kind of a toss-up, 5,
It depends on who doesn't pay their taxes, right?
right?
right. Yep. And that number
But we
is
don't
really paid by the people who are late with their taxes.
Yes, and the penalties and interest.
So even though we're saying we're budgeting 5,000, it's not really coming out of our pocket. It's a little misleading. Because when they pay the 8%, 5% goes to her and 3% really goes into the town.
So under penalty and interest, we've kind of given ourselves a little leeway there for last year because we budgeted 14 and took in 24.
Yep.
So some of that covers the salary for the delinquent tax collector.
Yep.
Okay, delinquent tax legal notices, 0. The expense, what's that? Print, right, because Sally does not take the 8%. We buy supplies for the delinquent tax collector. Postage,
The
paper,
The $150 at the bottom, sale, office expense.
oh, that's where, okay,
Is this when, if somebody does not bid on a property, we have to
that's the one, yeah.
we acquire it, and we have to pay for it. Which is kind of wiping out the taxes that we're owed, I don't know how all that works, but I think that's that number?
You're talking about the expense, tax sale expense?
Yeah,
I thought we had printer and cartridge there, delinquent tax sale.
the tax
That's
office
still office,
expense,
it's
the
still the office.
1,300.
That should go down to 1,300.
Well, I guess we'll look into both of these and see what those numbers mean.
Printer and supplies.
I think the printer and supplies is for the last one, but
Yeah,
maybe
I
I'm
think you're right.
confused.
Because you won't need probably a whole lot of supplies this year.
You know, we could probably go back to 150, but I don't know if,
Let's see, what's spring,
see what she does with the
Yeah.
budget.
let's see what Sally puts in for a budget there, we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the dog officer, Luke, has not given me his budget yet.
Well, we'll keep his salary 900, I think we capped it.
Yeah.
License, books and tags, keep it 200, Lori?
Yep.
Ooh. We didn't have any dog expenses this year? We
He
budgeted,
didn't take in any dogs.
wow, we budgeted 2,000, we didn't expend any.
Well, most recently he did. He had to watch one for a few hours, and wasn't there a bite? How does that?
I think, if the people are willing, you can have him quarantined at their home.
Oh,
If
okay.
they're cooperative, then it wouldn't cost him any. But if he finds a stray dog that he's gotta take in and feed every day, and then
Yeah.
there's costs. We've had vet costs, we've had all kinds of bad things.
Let's keep the 2,000 and the 1,000, and maybe Luke will give us some input.
Yeah, he should, he given me a budget. I've given him my deadlines.
Election and town meeting, ballot clerks, we're only gonna have one election this year.
So could we drop that, down to like 3.25?
325, yeah.
Yeah, 3.25. Moderator. I know Paul doesn't wanna do it anymore, but I think he's still gonna do this last town meeting.
You have to pay him, right?
I have
Or
to
you,
pay him.
or does he, maybe he doesn't take his salary? Cause he didn't.
He did it, but I think we got a budget for it in
Yep.
case.
Okay.
So
Budget
50. The law enforcement for elections, I think that is gonna be $600, so we're gonna be over. And I don't know if you wanna have that included, because it's really a 2024 expense, but I had to put it on the credit card, and the credit card bill isn't gonna be getting paid until January. So I don't know how you'd like to.
So it's
show that.
going to show up next year, and we can't count it next, I think we gotta keep it next year. I don't think we can put it in this. Cause we're running these figures off your computer, which is done for 24.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's paid, but, you're right. The town hasn't paid for it officially, but it'll be $600 when that happens, so we are gonna have one election next year. They've been starting to cancel school for the March election, so I don't know.
Let's keep it there just in case they don't cancel them.
Alright. Do you wanna do 500 or you wanna do 600?
Probably better go 600, the way
600.
they're charging it there.
Yep.
600, okay.
Legal notice, 0. Ballots, keep 100.
Okay,
Election expenses and supplies, that's for 3,
yeah, I won't need that much. I mean, I was thinking you could probably do like 75 for ballots and even, or 75 for election supplies and 50 for ballots, so I won't have 3.
yeah, ballots a year before were $22, so let's go, 50 and
50 for ballots and maybe 75 for election expenses.
50 for ballots. What'd you say for, what, 75?
75. I mean, there was an awful lot of postage and everything with this last election that we just aren't gonna have. I'll go with guesses,
emergency management, the only thing we can put in is salary right now. And employee benefits, you'll fill all that. Oh, you might have some, I don't know if you have any figures yet.
Health insurance, 0.
Because Lori
I
doesn't
did
take it.
I did not go through all of these. The only one I have is the last one, the unemployment, 114.
114. compensation, yeah.
Okay, 114? Okay, yeah.
114. So the other ones, Laura, you'll fill in when you finish all 2024 and
Yeah,
should
I
be
got
just-
it half done, but I wanted to question you on that last one, and I didn't wanna go through all the motions and
Oh,
I have
yeah.
to redo it.
energy coordinator salary 25, and the expenses is 0. Oh, we don't have the budget yet. Fire department, I just gasped there, yeah.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, fire truck replacement, 157, but that is from their account, but Lori has to show it somewhere in our,
Now, I think going forward, and I still have not gotten anything from the bank on all the loan papers that were signed. She said she'd get it to you.
Right away.
Right away. So I don't have a monthly payment for that fire truck.
maybe just give her a call and say, wait a minute now. So the fire department appropriation, that 61,425, that's their budget, they'll give us that.
Yep.
And the $50,000 for the fire truck replacement, that should be a 0.
How many years did we say we would do it?
That's the kicker.
Can we unwarrant it?
I don't know. There was a warrant out 3-4 years ago. We said we were going to budget $50,000 a year for 5 years, and went to town meeting, they said yes. So we only budgeted 3 years, there's 2 more years left on it. Oh, but the other thing is, it was an illegal article too. Cause you can't,
You can't reserve it for somebody, you gotta do it every year,
That's
so. This should be 0 then, unless they come up with a warrant article going forward.
but why would they? What, they would want another 50,000 to start a fire truck replacement fund? We gotta pay off this, loan for $60,000 a year. $67,000, whatever.
Yeah.
So what happened is, if, like a fire truck department, fire trucks, there's a loan for 5 years. And we approved the loan for 5 years, we signed the papers and everything, that's okay to budget 5 years out. But just say, I wanna say $50,000 a year for a truck. Well, the townspeople are voting yes this year, but then the next year, maybe a different group of townspeople said, no, I don't wanna do this. There's no signed contract, there's no nothing in writing, so we should not have accepted that article that was presented that way. Should have been voted every year. But they wanted to do it because it was easier to do 5 years,
Push it all in, yeah.
push it all into one.
It made sense, for what they wanted to do, but.
Yeah. I think just let it go with for the fire truck replacement 0.
Yep.
Appropriation will wait for them.
Yep.
And the bank payment.
Yep.
It's about 60,000, I think. I don't have that paperwork with me. Okay. Forest fire warden 50.
Yep.
And expenses 0.
Yep.
Okay, tax anticipation loan. Lori's gotta borrow money.
Yeah, so here's the fun part, I'm guessing what the interest rate will be. Sometimes we're
We
on
said-
it, sometimes we're not.
We said 70,000 last year, and we paid 59, which was good, but who knows?
So if interest rates on money go up, then interest rates on loans go up. So if we paid 6,000 this year, will it be 6,500?
See, let's put 7 and we can discuss it again. I'll do a question, and we've gotta go through this again anyway, if we have any questions. I don't know. Law enforcement 0.
Should I even have that in the town report?
I don't know. We don't have them anymore.
I guess it was voted on in March, so maybe I
Who's to
should.
say you won't though, in the future, they might change their mind.
Yeah, just keep it 0.
Library, I do not have any of their information. information yet?
We don't have anything from the assessor, Sally, Lori, John, and the other guy from NIMRIC. We're gonna work next week and figure out how much they're gonna do, how much the assessor clerk is going to do. And figure it out from there. So that's his question. Planning and development. Well, their salary's $175. Oh, we've got more planning commissioners.
We'll go back up.
Yep,
We can't do assessor clerk, assessor fee, but, how about reappraisal fund, are we gonna put money in?
oh. Yeah, because if we've got to reappraise in 4 to 6 years, 7,000 is not even gonna be a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
What did it cost? Like $1 million or something, didn't it?
It was 85,
86,000?
yeah.
But if we gotta pay 86,000 every 6 years or 4 or 5 years, that's gonna hurt. And the state doesn't give us a whole lot.
Can we put 10 in there?
So 86, that might go up too,
Oh, yeah.
every 6 years.
86 divided by 6, what do you get?
14,300.
14 something.
14,333.
Should we put 15, should we put
If you want
15
the
in
whole
there?
thing, you want at least that much. If you just wanna be close, well, wait a minute, cause we still have money in there.
Oh, yeah, we did say, let's leave it in there because. Yes. I don't know how much we have in there,
I
but
wanna do 12.
We don't have a lot.
I don't know how much we
12
have.
times 6. You have to come up with
You wanna
some
do
money
10 or
again.
12?
72,000.
I mean, if we are looking like we're getting a good amount in there, we can always drop it down.
sure.
So we going 15?
It's better to have too much in there, right, than not enough.
Right.
Go 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
15.
Doesn't sound good, but I mean, it sounds reasonable.
Well, I mean, if it's gonna happen, if it's gonna happen.
Yeah, price of doing business, I guess.
List your mileage, mapping, office supplies, reappraisal expensive. Okay. That reappraisal expense should be 0, because we're done paying for that reappraisal.
Yes.
Okay. And abatements. How do we get abatements there? Abatements.
Because we had to pay.
Oh, yeah, we abated that guy because
We paid the guy
we were wrong.
because the assessments were off, so he paid a much higher amount than what he should have.
So let's go 0 there, because
Yeah.
we don't wanna be wrong anymore. But
No.
we had to do it, we had to be fair. Were you here then? Yeah, you guys were here then. When we had to abate that man's property up in Elton. The cabin was on the wrong property or something.
I remember hearing talk about it, but I don't know if we were.
Maybe you didn't sit in on the abatement,
Oh, yeah.
had to do it, so.
So what do we have for planning commission? We have 9 members now? So we need to set aside 225?
Is that 9 times 25?
Somebody can do it right.
Salary septic officer 25.
Yep.
Parcel map preservation 0. Their education 100, well, I don't, are they gonna submit a budget to you or?
They never do.
No.
We usually do it.
Bennington County regional dues,
4,000.
4,000. Planning commission expenses,
200.
200, okay.
Unless you want to change it.
No, they didn't spend it. Grant expense planning commission, oh,
So.
that's because of the grant. They held the carrot out.
Yep.
And we didn't do it.
Yep.
And so they billed us
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
zero.
Zero.
Zero. Okay. Select board chair salary, 1,000, and I got paid $870. Wow. Keep it 1,000.
Sure.
Okay. Select board salary members, keep it 45, because I think we figured it close, but not everybody comes to every meeting.
If everyone came to every meeting, yeah, then
Administrative
it's just to be prepared.
Administrative assistant salary, administrative assistant salary. That is Casey, right?
That's me.
Oh, yeah.
So, I
Six.
started that on the sheet. It might come to 62 if all the hours stay the same, but it's hard to guess, because the hours vary.
Yep.
Some years I spend more time than others, so.
Let's just put a question there till you, unless you don't give us one. Liability insurance. Do you have
Yeah,
a bill?
usually goes up every year.
That, I've got two different numbers in here, so I have to sit down and figure it out, so
Okay.
let's skip that for now.
Yep.
Legal expenses, you definitely will incur expenses in the year coming up.
Yeah, we better put maybe 2,000. Cause we got that thing coming.
Yeah, is that gonna be enough?
I don't know.
Oh, way of knowing.
I think 5,000.
5. Okay.
Okay.
Selectmen Education Fund, when we take courses or online stuff.
Yeah, they seem to be cheaper now that they're not in person. They're not paying for lunches.
Keep it
200?
200. Selectmen office supplies, 100 is pretty good.
Go back up.
What's the
Oh.
LCT dues?
Oh, yeah, missed it.
23.52.
23.52. Select board expenses. I don't know what.
I mean, we use all her stuff.
Well,
What
she charges
Batteries
us.
for the recorder.
She charges us out.
I charge you for postage and I charge you for envelopes occasionally.
Well, you're close to $100, so you only use
I need to
93 of
charge you
it.
for paper now and then.
Yeah.
100.
Okay?
Website and email maintenance, keep it 700. Or are we going up higher?
He has not given me a bill yet. I could reach out to him and see. If we prepay, he usually gives us a discount.
Yeah. So we'll keep a question there on the 700.
Yeah.
Selectmen tax sale purchases.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about earlier.
So we had to buy the properties, but then we got reimbursed for them.
So one of these is the tax that we have to pay, and one of these is what we have to purchase. Because we end up having to pay the tax bill a year later.
That's right, that's right.
But
Yeah.
that is one that we normally know about because we know that we have purchased the property.
Mm-hmm.
This past year, all of the properties sold and the town wasn't stuck with any of them. So we don't have to worry about taxes. But this coming spring, is Sally planning on doing another tax sale?
I don't know.
That the town might end up having to acquire property?
I don't know how many are that far back delinquent. We'll have to question that. Okay. And then we don't need anything for the community center purchase acquisition, is that was the church, we'll go 0. Cost us 1,000, but that was for the inspection report. But we never, they never offered to help pay for that report.
No,
Well, it's public, so that's all right. Hold on. Okay, salary for if Dave and Mike or somebody else works at the recycling center. Should we still keep, maybe just 2,000 then? Oh, go
So
back.
the first one is, I think Carol, when she picks up the trash here at the school. And the second one is Carol and Buzz as monitors at the recycling center.
Okay,
And there, I do have line items for Dave and Mike, but I don't include them because they've been zeroed out
Well,
for so long.
Those are gonna have to go up if I'm not mistaken, right?
They are, and I should be able to calculate that right to penny with
Okay.
the raises, so I will get that information for you.
they, B.C., Bennington County Solid Waste Alliance, I have that, well,
I don't have that, I haven't seen anything on them.
they gave it to me in our last meeting,
Okay.
and it says 79.86. So 8,000, but in another report, I think it said 5,000. So I better check to make sure.
Well, the bills are all over the place too, and I have
Yeah.
not received any resolution, I did get a
Yeah.
response, they said they'd look into it.
I'll see what he put in the, unless he's figuring this would be, 79 would be the total, and not counting any rebates, refunds. I'm sure it said 5,000, I'll look and see though, I don't have it. Repair and maintenance at the recycling, that would be Dave, and see what he's got. If he's figuring anything. So John, see how much it costs us for recycling? 47,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And you only take in 12 grand.
So those are the actual bills we pay Casella to pick up our trash and recycling, and our compost.
Let's go 50,000, keep it 50.
Yeah.
Recycling electricity, 450.
To run a compactor.
Is that a requirement that we have at recycling center for the town? Or could we just be like, hey, you guys, we're doing it to keep it off the streets? Otherwise, they're gonna be dumping it up West Road and Klondike Road.
It's a service for our residents, but you're right,
It's costing, yeah, more than,
well, if we all had to get a dumpster in our backyard, it'd be what, $75, $80 a month?
yeah, I pay $70 for Johnny Demolino to come a month.
A month, $70 a month?
Yep,
That's
and just put it in the bag and throw it in there.
808.
Whatever it is, it is.
So you don't have to do anything, you
No.
just throw it away, $70 a month. And this is $95 a year for,
So,
And if we did talk about one time having private pickup, everybody brings their trash out to the curb, but then what happens when the snowstorm and Dave plows, you don't get your bucket in time, and
yeah,
then you guys up on the hill, and you get your bucket out there, nobody makes it.
there are
up
some
to you.
things like mattresses, like that's something you have to
extra.
pay to get rid of.
Mhm.
Yeah.
TVs.
I mean, I guess you could begin to increase fees every year, but it's tough to say it's gonna pay.
The
for
majority of people that are using it are the elderly people, right? Yeah.
You get people who come in like a Walmart bag or two size of trash. But still, you know, it all goes into the can and it's all gotta be dumped.
It all goes to the same place at the end.
That wasn't quite, where does this go after Casella takes it?
It goes to Powell, right? Does it still go to Powell?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they have is it Tam or Casella or wherever they are.
There used to be TAM, the TAM sold out to Casella. Right.
Do they burn it over there, or what do they do?
No, I think it goes out of state eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying to follow rules and keep it in state, and it ends up going
This is what happened,
on a barge somewhere probably.
this is what happened when we used to have, somebody took it, Republic used to take it, Pittsfield, the state said, you can't take it out of state.
Right, Republic was taking it to that big incinerator there by, what is it, Wendy's?
Yeah.
And it was just fine. And then they said you're not allowed to take Vermont trash out of Vermont. That's state law.
That's
So
where
then
like, someone in North Adams has like second chance composting, where he takes all the compostal stuff and he brings you back like good dirt. He'll make some arrangement
That's cool.
where he's making dirt out of it, so.
I hadn't heard about that.
I don't know what you would do with, paint cans and stuff like that though, you know?
Right. He must only do like food.
Yeah, he does like leaves, food items, trees. I think he's charging $10 a tree.
Okay,
There's money in trash apparently.
Yeah.
Bennington County taxes, 9,000, we pay 99, come on. That's for the, say, the judges and,
Yeah, you would guess we gotta up that to at least 10.
it's all about raises or something.
By the time it won't be enough, hopefully.
Town office, you'll fill in a lot of that stuff, Lori.
Yeah.
Do you have any figures now that we should plug in, or you're good?
I don't,
Okay.
I planned on it. With most of my vacation, I was sick, so I didn't
Yeah.
do a lot of work.
Okay, town office salaries, we could keep those all the same as what we budgeted?
Yep.
County commission salary, tree warden, library trustee, justice of the peace, keep them all the same then.
Yeah.
ZBA, 125.
Yeah.
Keep everything the same. Ooh, what's the ZBA expenses? Oh,
That's our sign, publication, certified mails.
yeah, we don't know what we're. Oh, mowing. Well, it wasn't bad.
Oh, we haven't talked about bowling.
Yeah, yep. That's mowing, we'll have to talk about that. Do we know if yard work by Dan, have to ask Mike if he's gonna still do it or retire? Town lighting,
You guys wanna see your, lawn proposal at the next meeting, or you wanna put that off? I guess you won't have a bid for this anyway, so
no,
you just have to guess.
I'd like it if you added more stuff to the description, particularly like where the sign was, those overgrown things out there. Why isn't it something he could take care of that? And the hedges in front of what used to be like the first grade classroom, they're so tall now, they're above like the windows.
So, when you guys send out your request, this is what we want you to do, we've increased it. I mean, we've had complaints of the weeds coming up through the cracks and asked him to stay on top of it. You could add
Yeah,
those.
just add a little bit more work to
Yep.
the job description.
send it to us and, or even give it to, it's kind of early yet.
It's kind of really, yeah.
Yeah, let's get through this
Yep.
stuff first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to do something with those trees outside the Casey's window there. It's covering up the sign and they just look dead.
Well, they got damaged in the storm and really pushed over
Yeah.
and.
Just take them out and let them mow there. And I've gotta ask the school board, are they gonna do the windows this year? They keep putting us off. Is this their building or our building? I think it's their tape. Alright. You don't have that little thing, Jim.
If you get home in time
Oh,
to grab it.
that's good. Okay, building community, town lighting, 46, 48, we better go 5,000 for streetlights.
Alright,
Security monitor, they gonna bill us twice this year if they get caught up?
I know.
Let's still go 140, if they bill us twice, we'll know why.
What are the streetlights that are on
Which ones?
that we're paying for?
I can send you a
We have
list,
a map, yeah.
John. List of lights. I think I went around this year to check to make sure everything was on. So, every few years.
Is that one across where Rashika Road, is that on the list?
No, I think that was Frank's or Pat.
We have some private pay
Yeah.
streetlights. If it's turned in towards the property, it's private. If it's turned out to the road,
I think that was because Frank always paid for that when he wanted that. But I'll send you the,
Yeah, I was curious, there's
Yep.
one on the corner where the horses are, that
Yep.
treacherous corner there.
yep. Okay, security. Red Cross, have they sent us anything yet? Oh, that's a warrant anyway.
yeah, these are warrants, so. Town flag.
Town flags, let's keep 800. Now, you can tell us about the other people requesting money from our,
Right, the Red Cross, the Brock, the other two, Vermont Rural Fire Protection, Southwestern Vermont Council on Aging, and normally Green of Vermont. At some point, we did a social service agency policy and said anybody that we have paid will continue to pay. But somebody new, or if you want to increase your amount, you have to do a petition to get on the warrant. And then, once the voters approve it, then it can go on every year. Last year, Green Up Vermont goofed up, I would say, and did not submit a request for their $50 warrant. So they didn't get any money, they weren't on the warrant. I think what's happening was she had some very active Green Up Day coordinators who emailed back and forth personally, and I think it just never went to the town office and it got lost in the shuffle, but I don't know that for sure. But they're going to try and do a warrant, a petition, so it can be on the warrant for this coming year. And I also had, which one was that now? I want to say the Red Cross people. Somebody asked for more money. And so I emailed them and said, no, here's our policy. It has to be the same amount, or you need to do a petition. So I don't know what response I will get. I haven't heard anything back from them. Let's see.
I think that was all we had.
Yeah.
Okay, good first try, we can't do Dave.
Yeah. That's a lot. We usually don't get through all of that in one sitting, so.
Well, we got through the meeting, bless you, we got through the meeting early tonight too, so that was good.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot on it.
So are we gonna do this again next Thursday? At what time?
We should do next Thursday, shouldn't we?
Oh, we're still in December.
Because you need this,
Yeah, sooner rather than later. Well, can I do it that way?
Can we
So
do it
January
earlier?
9th.
Can we do it at 5 or 4, or how's that? We gotta ask the other two.
I can do it at 5 or 4.
And
Mike
just
can
be
do
the-
it that early, usually.
yeah.
I
I'm no
don't know about
problem.
her.
5?
5?
5?
I mean, I'm good for anything.
I'm good for
Yeah,
anything.
I was
Is that 5 weeks?
I would just like to get out of here earlier on non-scheduled meeting day.
Okay,
So is it gonna be 4 or 5? I can do either one, I don't know about you.
Wanna check with these two guys and see?
I don't care either, whatever, I guess it would be Kurt if he can make next week and be up to 4 or
Let's
5.
shoot for 5 and,
Shoot for 5? Okay.
If they both say they could do 4, do you wanna do 4, or do you want me to?
Yep.
Yeah,
four is
yeah.
fine.
I
Four's good.
just would do it early too. I
Yeah.
could do it.
Okay, anything else, or do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Second, John, all in
Yeah.
favor?
Aye.
Doug, I appreciate you, doing that work on the ethics and conflict experience.
No problem, I get it, I haven't had a good reason, so I figured I'd better get a little while. Well, see, that's what we do, I belong to the Northern Berkshire Safety Association, that's what we